Welcome to the bush. Join Tiffany and I as we take a ride through the year of 2025, another year spent enjoying the great outdoors. Our January started at the cabin, enjoying the heat of the wood stove. It is our tradition to wait for the first snow after Christmas to have our little Christmas dinner and gift exchange at the cabin. It may sound silly, but we have to have some snow. Then we watched the Super Bowl at the cabin. Well, Tiffany did. I was busy smoking some wings and Little Smokies. Yes, we have TV at the cabin. I run everything from my EcoFlow power station. We built a new shelter in February. This one is a sort of hybrid bushcraft debris shelter. This is one of Tiffany's favorite spots. I'm really looking forward to finishing this shelter. You can watch this build and camp out in episode number 122. February gave way to March, and the next order of business was getting the vamper ready for summer vamping season. Well, I'm out here at the garage working on the vamper, and I pulled the seat out. We used to just have the mattress sitting on top of the seat that folded into a bed, but I got that sucker out. That was a job. And we're going to put a regular queen-size bed in here. I cannot get this framework out, though, because the bolts are just spinning, so they have nuts underneath the van. So that really sucks. But luckily my bed frame is tall enough, it should fit over top of that. But I was hoping to get that rack out of here so that I can have storage space for totes and stuff. I also mounted some LEDs so we can have lights on our camper, like all the cool people. The next thing I'd like to do is mount an awning. Somehow. In April, we hit the road and headed to a top-secret morel hunting honey hole. With our new bed in place, we were ready to vamp. We met our new friend Ryan here and shared some laughs by the campfire. This is our new friend Ryan. Ryan, welcome to the bush. The next day, we headed off with our mushroom expert Adrian. Find her on YouTube. Her channel is called My Morel Madness. The hunt was a success. Not a lot of mushrooms, but enough for 2 good meals for me. You can see this in episode 123. In April, I also began collecting logs and peeling them for what is now my log cabin project. All of these logs were harvested from damaged trees from the 2023 derecho. Check this video out on episode number 102. By May, we wrapped up trail work for the year. Starting in March, with the help of my Uncle Mike, we added close to 1 mile of new trail, connecting 2 existing trails. This is fantastic for deer hunting, hiking, and camping sites are along the way. Check out Trailblazing in episode 125. Our first stop of the summer vamping tour was the Battle of Athens State Historic Site along the Iowa-Missouri border. Some of the historic buildings from the town of Athens still remain. This is the site of the northernmost battle of the Civil War west of the Mississippi. There is even a house with a cannonball hole in it. Here's where the cannonball went in. And here's where it exited. It traveled through the house the length of this hallway. Luckily, no one was home. The trails here were awesome, connecting the campground to the historic town. We were able to hike them all in one day. Then we enjoyed the most beautiful sunset of our lives. Followed by some wieners on the grill. Our second, albeit rainy, stop was our favorite local campground, Pole Miller Park. This is great for bicycling due to its proximity to West Point, Iowa. We did get caught in the rain, but it was kind of romantic. Until I had to pack up camp in the rain the next day. We came back to Pole Miller several times for its excellent swimming hole. We even brought Tiffany's brother Pickle with us. We swam and floated with Pickle a lot on the farm too. The new pond location is an excellent swimming hole if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. But just keep moving because the fish bite. Tiffany and Pickle took the new boat out for a spin. I wanted them to test it, just in case it sank. Our next stop was Lacey Keosauqua State Park. The first place we headed to was the beach, of course, located 200 feet down a huge rock staircase. We enjoyed swimming and making animals out of cloud formations. This one is a dachshund. Coincidentally, we stuffed our mouths with wieners that night, and then settled in for a DVD on the old school Vamper TV. The next day, we hiked some of the trails. This is not a park you can hike in one day. It has miles and miles of trails, covering a lot of area, including some Indian burial mounds. One trail leads all the way to Lake Sagima. Our next adventure was NASCAR at the Iowa Motor Speedway. We got to meet the winning driver, and I even showed him how to drive his semi. Great times were had with some good old boys.
Making the way. Just a little bit more loud. Thank you.
Our next stop was a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campground near Muscatine, Iowa. 2 thumbs down, do not recommend, especially if you're like me and use cash. They are online only, and they screw it up like only the government can do. We did, however, get to check out Wildcat Den State Park. Then we paid Aunt Joanne and Uncle Mike a visit and peed in their pool. Later, I attended a meeting in Davenport, and that night, a skunk sprayed underneath our van. It was delightful. This brings us to Wakonda State Park in LaGrange, Missouri. We loved this campground. It has a lot to offer. Of course, our first stop was the beach. Tiffany enjoys laying out in the sun, and I enjoy swimming. That night, I cooked ribs over the fire. A serious undertaking. You got a little sun today, baby. I'm getting pasta salad everywhere. Oh no, we're gonna have raccoons all over. All right, ready?
It's better than a skunk.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. The next day, we were able to hike all the trails in the entire park. I was exhausted, but in a great way. Don't get too far ahead. You have to have adult supervision. On the third day, we rented kayaks, and it was a blast. But due to my weight, mine was really unstable, and I was petrified of flipping it the whole time. Our last stop of the summer was at Big Hollow Recreation Area near Burlington, Iowa. I got no footage of this one, although we did stop and see Stars Cave on the way. I was disappointed that you can't go in. Something about some endangered bat. We'll be back to hike the trails though for sure. Summer gave way to fall and cooler temps prevailed, so it was time to get to work on the cabin. My buddy Steve gave me a screen door, so we mounted it and Tiffany painted some trim. Then I installed laminate flooring that I got for pennies on the dollar on clearance. It turned out beautiful. I took this opportunity to do some painting. It really spiffed the place up. After I was done inside, I moved outside and tackled some landscaping using some old bricks that I was given. Now I can mow around the cabin without trimming. The cabin was now ready for winter. Ready just in time for a Thanksgiving feast and the first snowstorm of the season. All right, we got us some roasted turkey, injected roasted turkey. We got mashed potatoes and gravy, Amish noodles, butter rolls, green beans with bacon, and some stuffing. Tiffy went all out. In December, with snow on the ground, I started work again on my log cabin. You can check this out in episode 126 and 127. Here are a couple honorable mentions from 2025. In May, our friends Brian and Amy gave us their old camper. We spent a few nights deep cleaning and have a lot of work to do on the electric and water systems. But don't worry, the Vamper isn't going away. It will have to completely die before I'd part with it. It would have to be worse than this car we saw at the Mount Pleasant Hy-Vee. This is the trailer I used to live in, and I was sad to hear it would be scrapped. However, at the last minute, a lady lost her house to a fire, and the trailer got a new lease on life. I did, however, secure the screened-in porch. It is now sitting at the New Palm location, where I plan to build a cabin out of it. 2025 had some rough moments, but we learned and grew from them, and the future looks brighter than ever. From Tiffany catching pigs on the side of the road, to taking band photos in the Mississippi River, 2025 was a year to remember. In the bush.